We're going to be talking about two different subjects in this video, being the new mod mics in the UNI 2 and the USB 2, as well as the Apos or Apos and Techne collaboration with the R70x Refine. There will be timestamps down below if you want to skip to one or the other. So let's go on and kick this off by taking a look at the mod mics first off here. And we're going to do the sound test of all of these and stack it up with some comparisons as well. But as you see, we got the USB in the UNI, whatever you want to call it. On the back, you can see some of the specs, which we'll take a look at all that as well. But anyways, let's go and take a look at the mics itself. So this one over here is with this little pleather looking type case. This is going to be the UNI 2. And as we unzip it and take a look, you can see your microphone in there. You got some extra accessories, being an extra attachment point, which is right here, as we'll show you when connected to the headphone. You got your inline controls, and then again, 3.5. Now coming over here to the USB one, if we unzip this, the weird thing too is the 3.5, again, has that pleather bit. The USB one kind of has this cloth bit casing here. Whatever, they both serve the same purpose. Over here, you can see with the USB one, your inline control is actually a digital button. When over there on the 3.5, we had the switch. Again, it connects by USB-A, but you do have a USB-C adapter as well, along with those extra attachment points. Now, before we actually dive into the mic tests and all, I want to show you the basic setup, which we're all pretty familiar with if you're familiar with mod mics. So here are the headphones, which we'll talk about these later. But number one, as far as the setup, you get these little deals right here, which are magnetic, and you can stick it right on your headphone wherever you want, whether it be underneath, on the side. You can see on these, I just stuck it right there. Again, you can put it wherever you want. It is this little sticky bit, which they actually give you an extra little sticky pad here if you end up changing your mind. But really cool that they include two, so you can put it on multiple pairs of headphones. And then again, of course, you take your mic, bam, and it just sits right in there. Now, it doesn't rotate or anything, but as you see, you got those teeth. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. So you can actually take it. If you want to angle it down a little bit, you can. But the issue with that is the cable, of course, is always going to be attached. So you pretty much want to make sure you put it in that correct position so that cable is kind of coming down with your headphone cable as well. And these little bits right here actually connect into here, and then you can connect it onto your headphone cable. So your cables are just a little bit more organized rather than just dangling around. But of course, most importantly, how do the microphones sound? And that is exactly what you're hearing right now, the Mod Mic UNI 2. This is a straight 3.5 microphone. As you see, I got it just stuck right on here to the outside of the mesh of the Technica and Apos here, or Apos. I'm probably saying that completely wrong through this entire video. But to keep this raw and real, what I'm doing this test right now with the 3.5 is I'm running this directly into the camera. So there's no fluff, no shenanigans, no processing or anything. This is going straight into the camera. As you can see, we got our mute switch. Now we are back live. If we got any noise right there, let's see with the switch again. One thing I did notice about this microphone is, well, number one, it's a little bit short, right? Depending where you put it. And I got it on the edge of this headphone here, but it's still off to the side of my mouth. And what I noticed, it's like a Razer microphone. If you take it and say if you put it right in front here, I'm going to talk a little bit lower because it picks up dramatically more whenever it's right in front of your mouth. But I don't think there's any way we can put this here because, again, it is a little bit shorter. So with it on the headphone, I think no matter what, it's going to be off to the side right there. I don't think there's any way you can get it right here in front of your mouth, which is what I think it really should have been to pick up a whole lot better. Now you're listening to the Mod Mic UNI plugged right into my Mac. We are using a USB adapter coming through here and plugged into that, and this is exactly what you're hearing. There's a couple things I want to show you here. Number one, you're seeing the graph right now, again, with that microphone further away, so rather than just hearing it, you can see it too, again, with the direction on where the microphone's placed, how much it really plays into how much it's picking up. Again, like we've seen in a lot of Razer microphones. So anyways, I'm going to take the microphone off. I'm going to bring it right in front of my mouth here now, and just look how much bigger it got, how much more it's picking up right there. So you can really tell that it's, again, the distance. If I pull it out here, it gets much lower. If I pull it in closer, it gets much higher right there. So the stinker there, really cool that it's such great directional, right? But again, with this being a little bit shorter, well, I can't get it right in front of my mouth, especially with this headphone, even though I got it on the end right there. It's always going to be lower, which you can't adjust this while it's on the headset either, or the headphone, because it just comes off the magnet. You got to have it bent or molded into that position that you really like. I really wish it was a lot longer so it can get right in front of my mouth. That would be key right there. But right now, it's just always going to be off to the side. The other thing I noticed with this is, again, with that mute switch. So I'm going to go to mute it, and I want you to watch here. You might even be able to hear a little bit of noise once I mute it. So I'm going to go and hit this switch. I'm not sure how well you guys could actually pick that up in the camera by seeing that right there, but you can see a little bit of noise even when it's muted. As far as hearing it, we're going to see that together. But again, a couple stinkers here on the Uni 2. I think it could have been improved quite a bit, and number one, most easy is as far as the microphone being right in front of our mouths. So how about the Mod Mic USB 2? If we can just see clear as day right now, it is picking up significantly more even with the microphone further away from me. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. Of course, it is the same length, and you can see it's off to the side of my mouth a little bit, maybe a pinch more up forward, but not much at all. And we can see it's picking up significantly better here. I want to check what we did with the mute switch as well, which this one doesn't have a switch. It has a button, which I really like how it turns red also. So anyways, let's go on and try this. Instantly muted right there if you saw and heard. Again, there was no other sounds. I actually just recently listened to the playback of this, and I actually heard it as well as seeing it in the graph. So really cool right there. And again, we're just seeing it pick up so much better, which is really nice to see. But again, my main complaint is I wish it was longer so I can get it in front of my mouth, because if we take this and put it right here, well, it's picking up incredibly loud right now. So I'm going to pull it aside a little bit, and then we're going to get balanced out right there. The other thing is, as far as the cables, and it goes for both of them, the 3.5, the Uni, and then the USB, which you do got those attachment points to kind of clip it on here. But then you're just really creating more cables on you. It's kind of weighing down. That's a little bit of a convenience, maybe a little bit tacky, but again, you're trading off to be able to use a microphone on any pair of headphones you have. And since I've talked about them so much and compared them to the Mod Mic, let's go out and try the Razer BlackSharks. These are the V2 Pros. I'm not too sure what model this is. This is their newest, latest model out there, and this is the microphone you're hearing right now. Now, as you're seeing, number one is this microphone significantly more in front of my mouth, and why that is not so much the length, as the length is pretty much the same, but you can see the microphone's coming right off the front, which with the Mod Mics, you have to stick it right there. If you stick it up on the front right there, well, number one, you don't got enough coverage, and this is pending on your headphone, of course, right? But again, with a gaming headset, that microphone's go right in the front, come right out to the side. The other thing I wanted to show you is the direction of the Razer one. So if I pull it out here, we can just see, and I'm sure you're hearing it as well, is it drops down significantly more. If I pull it back over here right up to my mouth, it's picking up significantly more. A really cool thing that Razer gaming headsets do. Some other headsets, they just kind of pick up the same no matter where you are. They just pick up more environment or whatever. The Razer ones just have always done it pretty good, which is what we're seeing with the Mod Mics is really cool as well. It's really just the length of the Mod Mics or the positioning of to be able to get it right in front of your mouth, which again is the one bummer for me. And now for the last comparison of microphones is a standalone microphone, which we're using my ever so favorite Elgato Wave 3. As many of you know, I rave about this microphone. I use it on my workstation. I use it over here on my gaming station. I've been using it for years. I just love this microphone. It's simple to use. It's plug and play. You're not hearing any tweaking right now. Again, just straight plugged and played, as you can see. And this is what I pretty much always recommend people to use. As far as those Mod Mics, you're talking $59, and I believe the USB is $89. The Wave 3 is around $120. Sometimes you can find it for around $100, so not that far off. But of course, you're not going to take this microphone and attach it to your headphone, which that is the convenience you're looking at right there. But for someone like me that doesn't use a microphone that much, I pretty much never use the microphones on even gaming headsets, I just don't like them there. I kind of like my touch. I can mute it. I can put it in position wherever I want. I think this is still the way I would recommend. As cool as that is, I definitely like the USB one better than 3.5. I think they sound pretty good, but still my recommendation for you, even if you're using a pair of headphones, is going to be a standalone microphone. Now, the other thing I want to test here is this microphone with these headphones that they're being promoted as a bundle, which I'll talk about at the end of the video here. But anyways, you got a microphone with an open back pair of headphones. How much noise is it going to pick up? So we're testing a USB microphone here. I'm going to plug it up into, or the headphones, into my iFi, Zen Amp, and DAC over here. I'm going to crank it up like I usually game. It's pretty loud. We're going to play The Last Descendants, or The First Descendants here. I always get that mixed up, but my gosh, what a good game. I'm absolutely hooked on it here. So anyways, anyways, I'm going to crank it up, go through this mission, and we're just going to see how much, again, of the game you can hear through the headphones being very open back, which we're about to dive into the headphones here shortly, but how much is the microphone going to pick up of that? So anyways, I'm going to crank it up and start this mission. So now that we had a good look over of the new Mod mics, let's talk about the Apos and Audio-Technica ATH-R70x Refine here. This headphone is really interesting. I'm going to talk about why these tie together at the end of this video, so just stick with me. But focusing on this headphone, y'all know I got to kick it off with comfort. And I'm going to talk about comfort and build in a combination to this here. As you can see, this headphone is very minimalistic. It's a thin profile. It's incredibly lightweight. It's got that interesting headband that just flexes out on the side there. I love it, but it's a very thin profile. And yes, the majority of this headphone is plastic, minus the headband going up top right there, which is going to go into the build. But as far as comfort, again, being incredibly lightweight, the adjustability of it, that nice headband, yes, this headphone is stinking cozy. I will tell you what, right out of the box, putting this on your head here, the clamping force, I don't want to say it's tight, because it's not tight by any means, but you feel it gripping in right there, right? So I kind of took mine and just stretched this headband out a little bit, which you can adjust it how you want. And once you loosen that up to your liking, go in small increments. Trust me, just grab it up out of top and you can kind of stretch it out a little bit right there. And once you get it right into that position, it's perfect. And you get that nice, perfect medium clamping force. And again, stinking cozy, hands down. The ear pads are just very plush and everything. And that nice headband, I love it, especially for someone like me with a bald head. It sits there. Again, it's like I got a beanie on my head. I love the comfort of this. But on the flip side of that great comfort, talking about that thin profile and a lot of it being plastic, I do get nervous holding this headphone in my hand or stretching it out. Like, I don't even want to. I do not want to stretch it out. Your ear cups going around here are plastic. That headband and where it twists up here, all this is plastic held on by these little joints, and it makes me incredibly nervous. Take it easy with these guys because they seem delicate. Now, what isn't delicate is the sound signature of these bad boys. Oh my goodness, are they punchy. They have some body and immersion to them. Again, with me playing a lot of the First Descendants lately, I like that immersive sound with a little bit more bass. I don't want anything like constant, like punchy beats type of bass, you know, but I do want that body in the background. But again, talking about me wanting body, I don't want it to be like, I say this before, where the wind in a video game starts being this constant rumble of bass and mids. I do not like that. I can't stand that, you know? You don't get that here. It's actually going to be that body, that hit, where you got an enemy with a deeper voice. You hear that. You got a grenade or something. You actually hear the difference from a grenade or your shot. It's not all just a loud pop, if that makes sense. So it's really cool to get that bass. And yeah, sometimes you will get a little bit of that vibration coming through it if it gets really hectic, which is really nice. Now, the cool thing when you flip it around, y'all know I love highs as well, and I've always been a big Audio-Technica fan, hence the reason I love that smiley curve, right? That's what I've always got from Audio-Technica. ATH-M50X, one of the tried and true, just that manageable sound that everybody can get down with. You're not going to get that here. You really don't, even though you still get very nice vocals and dialogue, but that immersion is always primary. It's always front and center right there. Not taking it over. It's not taking over the dialogue. You're still going to hear that even in a battle, but the bass and mids are definitely prominent and always there. And that is the focal point of this, I truly believe. But right along with them being open back, yes, that sound bleeds out, the sound comes in. So those are some pros and cons there as well. These are definitely prominent and definitely noticeable in that area. It's really cool for an open back like this to have so much backbone and so much punch and bass. It was a really fun experience. Now, I know I don't talk about music too much in my videos when I talk audio, and as many as know, music is number one for me. I got my favorite ATH-R70x tattooed to my arm, right? Music is number one before gaming or anything. Music is my passion. And I want to talk about it a little bit right here because I had an interesting experience with these headphones. I've been listening to the new Jack White, the No Name, which I had to travel quite far to get this vinyl here. But anyways, listening to the new Jack White vinyl here, or any of the White Stripes or Jack White, he's got a lot of guitar solos and stuff, and I'll be straight with you, guitar solos are not my favorite. I do not like that screechy guitar. I'm just like, okay, let's get this off and move on, you know what I mean? But even his voice is high-pitched, which I can't get down with. That was one of the things that really makes him great, you know? But with these headphones, it toned that high-pitched screech of a guitar solo down that just really made it manageable and more enjoyable to listen to for long periods of time, where I can go through that entire album with these headphones and have a good time. That's what made them really fun for me. And if you combine what I'm talking about with music into gaming, you can catch it. It's like, yes, you can use these for a long time, not just because the comfort's amazing, but because the sound also is manageable. It's more body. There's more bass and mids in it, even though you still do get those highs. It's not like that's muffled out. I don't want to lead you the wrong way here. You do have them, but the highs kind of stay right here when your bass and mids can kind of come in there and just perform a little bit more if they do to. It really suited a lot of situations I personally use. All right, so now that we had a good look over of all these products, you're probably still scratching your head wondering, why the heck did I combine these videos? Why are we talking about microphones with a headphone? Well, believe it or not, with the limited run of the R70x Refine, they're only going to be 1,000 units. So get on them quick if you want. But the cool thing right now with this headphone coming in at $350, the microphone coming in at $60, the USB one coming in at $90, well, you're going to get the Uni 2 for free with the R70. So $350, and you're going to get the Uni 2 for free. So you just can't beat that. Again, going to the USB one, which is the microphone that took the win in my book, you still got to think about, all right, do I want a standalone microphone or do I want that convenience of it right on my headphone? That's for you to decide. Again, this combo right here, I love. The headphones are awesome. You're just getting a bonus for 60 bucks. Yo, that's super cool. The thing I really love is seeing audio companies collaborate with stuff like this. So it's good for us gamers. A lot of us gamers are using headphones now, right? I mean, Odyssey, you got Sennheisers. A lot of us are doing that, and seeing collaborations like this is super cool. Seeing headphone manufacturers, again, step in to the gaming, and with this collab is really, really shining there. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because we got some other really cool audio gaming stuff coming up in the future. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. And if you like this video and it was able to help you out, please hit that thumbs up. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye now.